Hey everyone, thank you so much for checking out my video this week and my channel Travel with a Twist. This week I really want to focus on the emotional aspect of polycystic kidney disease, and then I'm going to talk about something I'm looking forward to after transplant, and then finally finish with my travel tip of the day. So for today, emotional aspect of this disease is very individualistic, just like the symptoms and everything else that I've mentioned in previous videos. You have good days, you have bad days. Everybody is different with this. I kind of just want to give you my perspective from my experience with what I've dealt with emotionally on this journey so far. So I feel like this journey is it's like a roller coaster. Every day is different, every week's different. It's different based on how you're feeling, based on what stage you're in. Everything is just so different. But for me in particular, I have 3 sets of emotions that I want to share with you that I have undergone during this experience so far. And it's never one set and then another set and then another set. It's like a whole mixture of, you feel a whole bunch of different things all at once or simultaneously, or different times, or they just fluctuate. So my first set of emotions that I want to talk about is frustration and anger. I feel like that has been one for me in particular that I get when I don't feel good a lot of the time. If I'm experiencing like a cyst rupture, or just not feeling good in general, especially for longer periods of time, as like it kind of gets drawn out, I just get upset about like, how come I'm dealing with this and other 35-year-olds are out doing whatever they are doing, and like, why is it affecting me? Just a lot of internal frustration, I guess, and anger at like the symptoms, and why I'm sitting on the couch not being able to do anything. That kind of goes along with the frustration for me, especially recently, I think, is kind of like a frustration guilt feeling. I am really tired, I am really fatigued, I have low energy, and so most recently I've been getting frustrated with myself that I can't do as many things as I could have done in the past. It's hard enough for me to just get through a work day right now, and so I get frustrated like, oh, how come I can't have the energy to then go out after work and do something, or help out around the house more. I physically just feel so exhausted, and it just takes so much energy just to be, I guess, a lot of the time. And so that's been a real tough emotion for me to deal with most recently. And I think as well, my next set of emotions, being scared and anxious, has been a big one for me recently as well. Ever since I remember getting lab work done, I'd always be a little anxious beforehand. I actually really like that. Usually I get my lab results sent to me before I go to the doctor's office, so I don't have to be surprised when I'm there. I've had that experience before, and that's not really nice. I kind of like knowing at least a little bit beforehand, but I always get a little anxious with that in general. I think especially as I've hit different milestones, like when I've kind of entered into new stages of the disease, and especially most recently when I've hit that 20 GFR mark. That was a real significant one for me. I had kind of a mini meltdown for a little bit, just because it's so significant, like that's when they start referring you to a transplant center, and when everything kind of starts getting really real. I feel like a lot of the time, when I'm a little more stable, when I was a little higher with GFR, like 30s, 40s, like, okay, this is not happening for a while type of thing. But then as you start getting closer to things just get a little more surreal, I guess, and makes me a little anxious. It's kind of one thing to, I have such a great support system. I have family members that have gone through this before. I am really knowledgeable about the disease. I know what to expect, what's going to happen. But I think at the same time, it's just surreal it's different. It's different talking about it versus actually having to get to that point where you start experiencing these things. And that kind of goes with another part of being scared and anxious, is just the fear of the unknown. I don't know exactly what it's going to feel like to have surgery. I don't know exactly who's going to give me a kidney right now. I don't know what it's going to be like to have tubes sticking out of me. I don't know what it's going to be like to be on the other side and feel good, because I've just gotten so accustomed and so adjusted to how I'm feeling right now that I don't know what it's going to be like on the other side, and that's really scary for me. Also, just kind of, with social media and all of that stuff, I'm in a lot of different support groups online, and seeing other people's experiences, like, oh, am I going to experience that? And kind of comparing to others' journeys, which everybody is so different. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. But like, there's so many different people that have, worse symptoms, as, it typically gets worse when you get to this part. And so I just get really anxious about that sometimes. But I guess to kind of combat these first two set of emotions, I really focus on my final set of emotions, and that's just being grateful and hopeful. I think that's super important, especially as I've been getting towards these new experiences that I'm starting to have with this disease progression. Is just keeping in mind how grateful I am that I have been able to participate in clinical trials, and I was able to participate in being on our only treatment option for polycystic kidney disease so far, called GnRQ, to help kind of slow disease progression. I was able to participate in all of these different things that many other people before me haven't had opportunities to do. And so I feel really lucky and just grateful for being at this time in life where there are kind of advances happening and stuff like that. And just kind of more recently qualifying for transplant in general has been really a big deal for me. I know a lot of patients can't qualify for transplant because of other health issues or for other various reasons. A lot of patients, have to be on dialysis for long term, or some people don't even qualify for that as well. And so I do feel very grateful that I've had the opportunity to actually qualify to get to the next step and to get healthy again in life. And so I kind of try to just really keep those things at the forefront of my mind, even though my mind's always thinking about everything that's happening, what's going to happen next, all of this stuff. I really try and focus on obviously what I can control right now in my life, and that is just kind of doing what I'm doing right now and being hopeful for the future, that I know that however it's going to work out, I'm going to get to the other side of this. So I think that's my thing I'm really looking forward to after transplant, is, like I said, being on the other side of this, kind of being past whatever's going to happen and just knowing that everything is okay now. I'm looking forward to just being on the other side, even though it'll be a whole new set of experiences and a whole new lifestyle to get adjusted to. I feel like being on the other side will be kind of like the end goal, and it'll be a benefit to me. It'll be for a good cause, for a good reason, for making me feel better again. And so I'm really just looking forward to kind of getting over there, getting to the other side. And my travel tip of the day I wanted to share with you guys real quick is that it's just okay to say no to people if they, invite you somewhere, or I know it's really hard for me because I want to, do as much as I can in life, but just keeping in mind that self-preservation at this point, especially when you get feeling worse, is the most important. You really have to take care of yourself first. And so it's okay to say no to an invite. It's okay to say no to an extra thing on a trip. It's okay to just be where you're at in life and take time for yourself and be get yourself in the most healthy position that you possibly can. So thank you guys so much for checking out my video this week. Again, if you have any comments, please feel free. And I would love if I could get some more subscriptions and shares, and we'll see you guys next week.